Okay, to continue the discussion on why we are so dissatisfied with our the state of our political system today and what this is doing to affect our economic situation and what we've got to do to correct it and all and the changes that need to be made and who we need to be president and all a lot of discussion. This deep well, I'll continue to dig this deep well, and hopefully we'll discover oil somewhere down there while we're digging this well that'll fund our country back to a state of health. But anyway, that's what we do here in Texas. We always are trying to discover oil wells, and we buy our way out of everything. So, but anyway, he said we're talking about R.E. Hubel. What his comment was, R.E. Hubel, Heubel, and I started not to even do these videos, and then I was coming across because I'm always researching on YouTube, and I stay on there because I like to benefit from all the good videos that they're providing. You know, I have a vast library, but sometimes when I want to take a break from reading, I like to go on the YouTube and it is a great tool, which we haven't always had, that we can get a lot of great videos. And so I was going on there, looking at all the things about presidential leadership and history and everything, and come across this video that where Obama was getting ready to go into Marine One in a helicopter, and he just totally passes by that Marine that was there. You know, he had his salute up there correctly and everything, waiting for the president to salute him back, and Obama just passed him on by and walked right up into the airplane, and then his advisors up there said, "Well, you need to go back over there, and apologize to that Marine and give him a proper salute." And, and so Obama comes back down the steps out of Marine One and goes around there, and then he reaches out his hand and shakes hands with the Marine, which and then somebody made a comment down below, well, a handshake's better than a salute. But then I had to quickly reply that the handshake, yes, definitely would be better if you make a proper salute first. But the president needs to make the proper salute first, then reach out his hand. And so I got so upset about that that I said, a bleepity bleep, heck yeah, I'm going to make these videos. Boy, that got me going. You know, I said, nobody's going to listen to these videos anyway. I said, ain't any use me trying to get in on this discussion. People probably won't listen to them anyway. And so why not I just go ahead and just watch more videos and just forget about this. But then when I saw that, I said, heck yes, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to put in my 2 cents and I'm going to really go through all this stuff and try to fire people up, because we got to do something about the situation in the country. When we have leaders that get up there and they don't even think about how proper protocol when it comes to the military. They overlook the military. They don't appreciate them properly and everything. When the military is our fighting force, that you wouldn't have a commander in chief if you didn't have the military. We wouldn't even have a country without the military. And here was a Marine, one of the finest fighting forces in this. And then he not only forgets, which I don't know whether he forgot or if he just decided he didn't want to, and then he had to be reminded. But then when he goes back, he didn't even salute the Marine correctly. Well, you know, I mean, these seem like minor things, but it's the whole mindset. We got to get a different mindset. We got to go back to the mindset that we had before of appreciating our citizens that sacrificed for the country. Not only appreciating the president himself, who does make a lot of sacrifice. If you go to become president, you make a huge sacrifice. Believe me, you're going to make a huge sacrifice by going and doing that. And there's going to be things which you can't believe, which you're going to have to sacrifice in order to go and perform that. And so we need to greatly honor our presidents. And then if you go into the military, you can make huge sacrifices. And so we've got to get back to appreciating our fighting force. We got to get back to appreciating our public officials. That's one of the things that has created the problems today, is we don't have proper appreciation for our people who are serving. And when the president speaks, people just tune it out and tune it on to other channels. And it's not like it used to be where you had ABC, NBC, CBS, and then the president would be on all three. And so if you listen to your TV, you had to hear them. And now the president has a hard time even getting an audience. But That's one thing. But we've got to get back to, if we're going to ever correct this situation, is that we not only got to get a good man in there, but then we've got to somehow or another cause enough respect for the president that he can go on TV and he can gain a 75% audience listening to him, so that he can begin to draw the country together and unify the people. And so anyway, Artie Hubel says, you sound like a conservative and disgruntled Republican, disappointed with the nomination of Trump. And the thing that I was most disappointed about that was that I just didn't like the format of the I'm not as disappointed with the nomination of Trump as I am at the way that it was gone about. We went about nominating, and the way that we went about conducting the way we went about conducting the debate. That's what got me disgruntled about this whole thing, is that if we had given all the other candidates a proper chance to be heard, and give them enough time on TV so that we could really judge, we'd really have something to go by. We really had nothing to go by. I mean, as far as Ben Carson, and as far as all the other candidates, Jeb Bush, Cruz, Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, Carly Fiorina, Mike Huckabee, all those others. We had so many good candidates there, and their voice they really didn't get a voice, in my opinion. And Mike Huckabee may not be all that much of a charismatic speaker, but a very, very intelligent man. We would have been in very good hands with him as the president. Carly Fiorina wasn't half bad either. I mean, she has a lot of good points. She made a lot of good points, and certainly would be a lot better than Hillary. And it's just, even Jeb Bush wouldn't have been half bad. He doesn't have a whole lot of charisma, as far as that he would need to develop a little more charisma and everything to be really acceptable by a lot of people. But as far as what he would do once he got in office, as far as guiding the country correctly, I have no doubt. But he would have done a good job. And so we had all of these. I know Marco Rubio would. He has the ability. He's young enough, has the ability to grow in office, and I know he would have done a good job as president. But we didn't get to hear that much from him. When we certainly didn't get to know Ben Carson hardly at all, and we didn't really give him a chance. He would have had a lot of good input put on the healthcare system and so forth. And so, just a lot of stuff like that, that if we had chosen Donald Trump after carefully considering all the other candidates and really giving them a voice and giving them time to really go into their platform, like what we used to do when somebody would run for office. They would declare a platform. And of course, they have their platform. It is available, but it's just not put out there where most people know how to find it. And so we needed to have given them time to really get their platform out there before the public, so that the public really knew what they would actually do when they got in office, and have a chance to really judge them as a person. But all of that was lacking, and we knew a whole lot more about Donald Trump because he'd been in the public eye quite a bit before, and so as far as all that, Trump Towers and all of his other enterprises that he had, and so one of those reasons he had name recognition, and being a larger than life figure such as he is, well, it made it easy, for him to take the spotlight. And I don't know what kind of a president he will make and everything, but I would have just felt a whole lot better about it if we had carefully considered all of these other candidates first before we just rushed in and nominated Trump. And so that's the major reason. I'll have to discuss that more further. There's a lot that has to be discussed about that, and we'll be discussing that one as he begins to run against Hillary and all, as she has gotten the nomination now, and or as good as has. They've announced that now today. But he says it must be said that even though Trump is very wealthy, he has tapped into the anxiety and resentment of the poor and middle class whites and Republicans. And it's to a certain extent that's true, but I don't view that as the major reason why he was nominated. I think it had a whole lot to do with just the name recognition and the fact that he would people would be able to call in favors. He was able to promise favors to people, more so than maybe some of the other candidates, and there's just a lot of stuff like that that would have to be considered now. But we do need to discuss what this is about the anxiety and resentment of the poor and middle class whites. See, that's two different subjects. We need to discuss the fact. Well, there's about three different subjects in that sentence. I'm sorry that politics is so complicated. And one of the few things Bill Clinton ever said that was really good was I didn't like him much as a president, but he was able to come up with a few doozies when the Texas man Ross Perot was they were discussing some stuff and asking Ross Perot, and he said, and he come up with a what he would do about a particular situation, and Bill Clinton retorted back, well, I'm sorry, Ross, but it's just not that simple. Well, I'm sorry that politics is so complicated, and there's so much to this, and it requires so much study of history and so much knowledge of everything in the government and politics to really understand what's going on. But that's just the way it is. And so this sentence here has about three complicated things in there which need to be studied. Number one, that Trump is very wealthy. What has that got to do with him being nominated, and how that would make him a good president or not a good president? What wealth has to do with anything as far as being influential, and what you can do with that influence, and then how that Trump has tapped into the anxiety, and second would be the anxiety and resentment of the poor and middle class whites and Republicans. So there's about three things there. But he says you do not mention or attempt to analyze in your video the reason for Trump's success in the Republican Party. And, that's what I'm going to try to do in some of my later videos. And, there's a lot of things, like we said, he's successful because of he's well known, and he has done things for people in he's networked among the people, the Republicans, and a lot of people know him, and he's gone to a lot of functions and everything in the past years, and all like that. And you do not mention he basically blew away all the more experienced and much better funded. Well, one of the reasons too also is this discontent with we've got. People don't want business as usual, and he's viewed as an outsider that has come in, sort of on a white horse to save the republic and all, and he's not got the he doesn't have all that, he doesn't smack of all that Washington insider business, and he doesn't smack of being a career politician, and so people view that rightly or wrongly, they view that as being a good quality, and that's one other thing we've got to really understand is you've got to have some experience in government in order to really be a good congressman or a good president. You got to have some experience, but you don't want to get so much that you're just entrenched in all of the in politics, and that's just your whole lifestyle, so much that you've lost touch with the people out in the general cities and towns of America. But we'll have to continue this again on the next video.